Who is the loser in your family and why? The family I grew up in has 6 kids. All are now married with kids. Nobody is unemployed, or alcoholics or criminals or anything, so I had to dig level of education to decide who the loser of the family is. Awesome. How do you think you'll manage to pull that off? Parents? Self-motivation? I don't know. My mom only did 1 semester of college and wasn't much help academically. I think as siblings we were just very supportive of each other and all have had a good close relationship over the years. That's very pleasant to hear. Yeah, despite my siblings and his differences we are all very close and it makes a huge difference. I see so many households where siblings hate each other and I can't imagine. Yeah, we have our spats, but at the end of the day we are a team. So it's cool to hear that pays off. My cousin pretended to go to university for 4 years. It was a good school and hard to get into, so everyone expected he'd graduate and be successful. However, he was taking my aunt and uncle's money and using it to live across the country. He only completed 1 term, and on the night before graduation when everyone had flown out to go see him graduate, he dropped the news. He told them everyone he wasn't graduating, and now half the family resents him. I'm in constant fear that I'll end up like him. I had a friend like that. He told his family that he was hired by the university when in fact he was still on campus because he had failed so much and had to retake so many classes. And his dad had cardiac problems. He just could not be honest with him even if he wanted. It was just a case of a lie getting bigger and bigger. Thanks for the responses. I ask this because out of my siblings it's me. My brother is very athletic, very likable. My sister is very smart, always has been. I on the other hand have been very average, just getting by in most things. Spent the last years of high school skipping school to smoke and trip. Since college, which I've had a solid 2.6 GPA, I have really tried turning it around, but it's been hard. It's always 1 step toward 2 steps back, and still feel like the loser. Example, I just got a really awesome job making deliveries, was making good money, but got into an accident, and may end up having to spend all the money I earned to fix it. So yeah, it's rough out here for us losers, but let us continue on. I won't say my uncle is a loser, but he is very different at family functions than the rest of us. He is family by marriage and I always seem to get along very well with him. However, that doesn't mean I couldn't notice the odd things he did. He often spent no time with the adults, pretty much maintaining position as the helicopter parent throughout the get-together. He even sat at the children's table. He was a railroad security worker, and he often was dealing with people stepping in front of trains and committing suicide. He strangely enough, decided to often photograph the gory aftermath. He would show me and my older cousins these photos at family functions. Very odd. The photos were pretty nasty. He was that uncle. My Uncle Bill, for my privacy, not his. He's part of a made-up white people Native American tribe, insists that we call him Great Wolf, and pouts and cries when my grandma won't give him money. He's not allowed over to anyone's house anymore after he tried to steal a bunch of stuff and got real creepy with me when I was 13. I don't think he expected me to tell for my dad, and I definitely don't think he expected to literally get thrown to the ground outside by my dad and uncles. Jesus Christ, Bill, fix yourself. Oh, and I haven't seen him since I was 13 because of aforesaid reason. Definitely me. I had the most potential of my siblings, even of my parents. I had the most opportunity. I had the most support. I achieved the least. By far. Everything came easy for me, so I never had to try to accomplish things. As I got older and things became more difficult, I began to shy away from challenges that raw talent ability couldn't see me through. Because of this, all of my achievements feel hollow. I have never earned anything that I've done or achieved. My parents are too supportive to ever admit it, but I'm most certainly the biggest disappointment of their lives. My little sister. She is technically my half-sister, but we grew up as full siblings and all of my siblings have told her that we see her as 100% our sister, full stop. Well, she doesn't see it that way and basically played the woe is me, I'm not part of this family card immediately. Because of this, she has refused all support and love from my family and then uses that to say we disowned her. She is really manipulative. So she married a felon and is basically homeless living in a car, even though we have offered her a place to stay and support. I'm fully expecting her to end up in jail at some point. Somehow it isn't me, but my younger brother. I may have been homeless for almost 2 years, but I worked my way out of it and back onto my own 2 feet. My brother on the other hand has been fired from every job he has ever had within the first month. He lives with our grandmother, all food and bills paid by her social security, gets around town on her mobility scooter, and spends every minute he can playing Overwatch and League of Legends. I'm lucky I inherited my dad's pride and am incapable of asking others for help, or I'd be just like my little brother. I wonder. I'm the oldest and have a great job. I make more than my mom does by a lot. The others are all still in school. I'm the financial floater for the family. But I'm a high-functioning alcoholic, if that's a real thing, and I have depression, insomnia, and a slew of other issues. My younger siblings may very well surpass me in the next several years. But the younger two, I'm not so sure. They'll be successful though. Thing is, I feel like the loser. According to them, I am. Though the opinions they have are mostly of my choosing, since their actions to fix the situation would keep them out of my hair. I just have to put on a show once in a while to keep them thinking they are on the right track. Not sure their abusive acts' intentions count, since they are basically running in circles I designed. It is entertaining regardless. Though personally, it would have to be my nephew-in-law. Though the details are best not put online. I really thought I was the loser for a really long time. I'm 29, never went to college, didn't achieve much in life, I live alone, and I've been on the same job for the last 10 years. Then I had news from my cousins. One is in jail for drug trafficking, one has 4 kids from 4 different fathers, and the other just had his second son at 18 yo. There's still hope for me, guys. You know, thinking about it, at least my immediate family just doesn't have any. We're all employed and making ends, all have healthy home lives, family that loves us. I guess I make less than my sisters, if you consider their husband's income, since my wife doesn't work, but I also get way more benefits. That said, I'm the only computer nerd, so I guess it just defaults to me. Nobody in my immediate family is a loser. My brother is doing great, travels the world as a consultant, and has a wonderful girlfriend. I love my job, have a wonderful girlfriend, and live comfortably. My sisters live in Austin. One is a fantastic mother and the other is happily engaged to her fiancé in a small home loving life. My parents are both retired, and were great parents. It used to be me, but over the past year my sister and brother-in-law have switched gears over to his younger sister. She's 31 and still lives at home with her mother, while puttering away at a master's degree with a deadbeat boyfriend. Considering I didn't move out until I was 29, and I technically still don't have my bachelor's 2 classes away, I'm not really in a position to judge. I'm gonna say we are all losers. I'm in a rundown trailer barely making it by. One of my brothers is an alcoholic, another is on his 2nd kid with a woman he is constantly on again off again with, and the last is mooching off his girlfriend. My mother is going through her 4th marriage is failing, and my BO dad skipped out of town. None of us can really say we have our lives together. My older brother, when he messes up it's never his fault. He once dragged me across carpet, gave a bad rug burn, and when I told my mom he tried to defend himself by saying, if he didn't want to be dragged then why didn't he stop me? He then only got a 2-day ban from the family computer. He could still use his personal laptop, just not the family computer. Me. My younger brothers are very attractive, extremely social butterflies and extremely talented academically, musically and in sports. I'm the pudgy shut-in who plays video games and barely trudges through college again. I know my parents resent me. I know the feels, man. Video games, what a terrible thing. My uncle is in his mid-60s and has never left home. He still lives with my grandmother. She makes his breakfast, does his laundry, and of course nags him incessantly about all sorts of things. To my knowledge he's never had a significant other, or even tried to live on his own. When she's gone, we have no idea how he's going to survive on his own. My uncle, he's in his early 60s, lives in his son's basement, has been divorced 13 years, has diabetes, is something of a narcissist, which is why he and my dad were estranged so long, and still can't see some of his problems are his own making. Oh yeah, and he looks like Wilford Brimley. My mom's brother. The dude has never owned anything more than an apartment, is nearly 50, has really bad social skills, thinks like a robot, and is an absolute slob who let another slob live with him. I'm just glad I wasn't on the cleanup crew. And by cleanup crew, I meant a hazmat team. Me. At my grandfather's wedding anniversary he announced all his grandkids' successes, and when it came to me all I got was that I'm sick all the time and never completed school. Thanks for announcing that out loud to the whole family and friends I guess. Me. Spent too much time as a homeless traveler with no backup plan and I've burnt every bridge I could over this point. Now it's in my blood, and being stationary kills me, so I end up traveling again and again. My dad's one brother. Lives with his mother, still he's like 50 something, and she's like 70 something, depends on her for food, and has to call her to see how long to heat up a pizza she made. My uncle is nearly 60, he lived at my nan's until well into his 40s, when he moved in with his girlfriend, rent-free. His 39-year-old son has now occupied his room at my nan's. Me. Siblings have great paying careers, married, have kids, go out and do stuff. I'm single, work part-time retail, no kids and rather just stay home. Me, because I will never truly learn from my mistakes. My family may or may not feel that way about me, I may never know. But, I feel that way. Me, all my cousins have huge homes and beautiful families. I have a kid on the way, no chance of ever owning a home, and a wife and mother who hate each other. All the comments are me, except that lad with a cat, named Loser at time of posting this was accurate. And the dude who gave out his mom's brother. It was me until my uncle left auntie for some young woman, letting his 2 almost adult kids and their mother live of cashier wage. So, wahoo. My cousin, she's 24, dropped out of high school, has 3 kids with 3 different fathers, and is a stripper. My mom's family, the question is who isn't the loser? I feel comfortable with them. Lowered expectation city. Me because I'm not $100,000.00 plus in debt like my brother and sisters. They probably perceive my younger brother as the one worst off, but in reality it's definitely me. My older brother. Video games are his life now, he probably likes them more than us. I learned this year my brother has hit our mom on more than one occasion. Till that everyone on Reddit is the loser in their family. My brother no reason behind it, he just is. My mother has a cat named Loser, so him. Me because I couldn't think of anyone else. Me, cause I'm always a loser.